Hey, good evening, LinkedIn. Happy Monday. Hey, tonight's show is two subjects. The first one, God bless, but the life of a high volume recruiter in logistics in the Lehigh Valley, and also signs that it might be time to leave your job. I don't know if you want to listen to some of these things because you might want to end up leaving. So we'll be right back after this. Phew. Still love those videos. Hey, listen, the first subject tonight I want to dedicate to the life of a high volume recruiter in the Lehigh Valley. And you might as well throw HR into that because they're recruiters also. HR is kind of transformed, I've always said it, into the recruiting and staffing world. So they got them staffing also. But you either have it, I told you, or you don't. The high volume recruiter, Monday has got to be the one worst. Hey, Gabby, how you doing, man? How's it going? He's always on the show. Mondays is the most craziest, insane day that a high volume recruiter dreads over the whole weekend. You know, you spend Friday freaking waiting to get off work, and then you dread Sunday going into work. There he is. Hey, Doris, it's been a while. Kenneth, I did not see. You left me a voice message, but it didn't come through, so I didn't know what you said on there. I tried to listen to it, but I didn't see it. Was recruiting done outside of HB4? Doris, what I mean by that is HR is human resources. There's a job that HR did not go to college. HR did not go to college to be in charge of staffing. I'm sorry. They did not do that. Years ago, HR was a great human resources to help humans, to make sure laws and everything is just taken care of. Now they got friggin' HR doing everything. They can't even breathe. Stick down. Let's give them recruiting. Let's give them friggin' safety also. Let's just do it all, you know. But I'm just venting on that. Hey, Alex, all the way from Colorado. Awesome. It's good to see you here. We're in Pennsylvania, so it's a little bit different. But the first, when a recruiter high volume comes in on Monday morning, it's the worst because not only have 5 to 10, 20 people, 30 people not have shown up for work, no shows over the weekend. Not a friggin' sign of them. They're all friggin' gone. There he is. Hey, Robert. There's the top man right here, Rob. Rob, make sure you connect with some of these people on the page. A lot of great new people tonight. So reach out, Alex in Colorado, and it's good to have them on here. But HR, now you got me going off of that. But the staffing recruiter comes in, right? All the no-shows. Then they have the staffing recruiter doing payroll too. They'll have a recruiter that's solely there to find friggin' people, and they got payroll put on them. So when Mondays come around, right? There's Kenny, he's always something. He rocks it out. And hey, all right, Stephanie's on. Hey, this is perfect. Reach out to Stephanie Joy in here. I'm telling you, I love giving her shout outs. If you need resumes that are top notch, you know, reach out to Stephanie. She will really take care of you. I'm telling you, she's great at what she does, and she enjoys helping people. You know, how will you help change the recruitment process? Gabby, in logistics staffing right now, some of the companies are coming in with orders like over 1,000. They're going to be hitting these bigger companies coming up in about the next month. They're going to try to utilize 4 to 5 staffing agencies. Listen, they are going to struggle like they've never struggled before. the recruitment process for a high volume recruiter is insane. This person, you could have 3 to 4 people, 3 to 4 recruiters, right? And you got to fill 6, 7, 800 orders. 6 to 800. So on the professional side, the professional services are a little bit different because you might only have 15 jobs to look for, but it's a whole different ballgame because the recruiting in high logistics versus doing direct hires. It's a lot different because it's not even about the entry level. It's just that there's not enough people right now for in logistics. When you're told that you need 100, 200, 300, there is no way that one company can handle that right now. There's none of them. They all struggle with the same problems. You need 500 people. Come on in. You got them in there. You're like, wow, 25 didn't show. Well, now we got to get 75 in. So we need 150 to get 75 to hope that 25 out of that 75 come to show up for work. And then you're going to be back down to by 10 by 3 days later. That's a fact. If you just understood what I just said, that's what happens. Because it's one big friggin' circle. That's all it is. A circle, circle, circle jerk. That's it. All they do is some candidates right now, the way they're putting on these hourly rates up. Listen, the companies that are doing these high rates, they can't fill the jobs. They can't fill them because they have to offer that much money to get the people in there. But that's where you can need to capitalize as a recruiter to go after those candidates. Go after those candidates at the companies that are offering the big ones. They all leave. That you hear it every day that people say, well, they treat you like a number. So when I'm back to your question, Gabby, how would you change recruitment? You really have to take the time with people and treat them with respect now. Those days are over where you could just fill a job like that. With everything going on right now, you really have the control. You have the control to find out where you're at and what you want to do. It's hard on the employer right now because they can't focus on trying to find the right candidates for the hourly rate that's happening. But that high volume recruiter is so stressed because not only you got all the corporations calling you saying, where's all our people? What happened? Where are they at? You're like, oh, wow. How are you going to fill these orders? What are you going to do? You've utilized all your tools, social media. You need to be on that freaking thing 3,000 times a day if you can. Every freaking platform that you can find, you better put your name on it. I tell everybody, live videos are one of the number one way to find candidates on social media too, because you're different. You are different. So true. Hey, Alex, I grew up in Wisconsin and they're only retaining 30% after 10 days in manual labor positions. That says it right there. In order to change that, listen, you're not going to change the logistics staffing because if you want to treat, I should say it this way, if you want to treat people like numbers, then go with a high volume staffing company that's got like 2.3 reviews. Go with the ones that just want to send you a body because that's all they're doing. Just sending a body. Some of the companies right now, hey, just come on down, start tomorrow. Here's your drug screen. No drug screen, go to work. Hey, honey, where are you going to work for? I don't know. They just said, come on down. Don't worry about your background. No drugs test. Just go to work. That's freaking insane. That does not take any thought process of people. That does not take a person that's really looking for a job and you throw somebody in there of saying, come on down for no drug screen and no background check. Send your daughter in there. Send your daughter or your son into that company. God bless you on that part. That pisses me off about the drug screening. And second chances, I've told people with backgrounds, I love second chances. They really deserve that. But when you're putting on no drug screen, you are asking for trouble. Now, a lot of people say, hey, what's it matter? Okay, you go in to a warehouse, right? And you didn't check his drug screen. He's high as a kite and he's driving forklift. Go for it. And you're going to see what happens there. You're going to see something is going to happen. So safety takes over the drug screen. A drug screen is not meant to harm anyone by that, because if you are on medications, it doesn't matter. You're on medications. What happens? You take the drug screen. They call you. They found something in your system. Now they want to ask you. They send it out to a lab. That comes back. They call you. They call your pharmacy. You're good to go. The company never knows that if you're on a prescription drug. It's a HIPAA law. There's no law that you got to tell them what prescriptions you're on. Now they're going to question something when the drug screen comes back and it's sent out to the lab. That's great, but it doesn't mean there's something wrong with that. But back to Alex. God, I get on a friggin' rant. Alex, that's true. You lose your staff within the first 10 days. You're right. 10 days, they're gone. You get 10, you're down to like 2. By that weekend, you have to fill back up again. So, if you want to be successful in high volume, then I'm going to hit the really good subject. In the high volume recruiting, treat the people with respect. Take care of the ones that you have right now, right? And if you have candidates coming in that have they work 5 jobs in a month. If you hire them, that's the issue right there. Let them go. Send them down to the next staffing company. Say, you know what? Hey, go on down there. They're hiring. Let's do it that way. Send them on there because they're only going to cause you a freaking headache. But that's in high volume. And those people, you can tell I get all pumped up about that because high volume recruiters are work friggin' insane. They are drowned. Their managers are on top of them saying, hey, where's my people? Where's my people? What's going on? Everybody has gotten so used to saying, there's no staff. There is nobody. All right, so let's just sit around, right? We don't have to do anything. Oh, no, we can't find anybody. What have you done? What have you done differently this week, right? Oh, we still can't find anybody. Okay. Oh, job fairs don't work. Why don't job fairs work? Because you probably friggin' didn't advertise the thing all enough and get the message to the right people that are looking for the job. Job fairs are really designed to get people to come out, right? But a lot of people don't like going to them because there's just people sitting around and they're not really talking about their companies. They'll go there with the resumes. Some of them just collect resumes. Some of them are just there to show up for their names. But that's another subject on that part. High volume recruiting. Enough of that. I'll go crazy on that. The main topic tonight, as I love, is signs that it may be time to leave your job. Kenny, I think you're going to love this, and Rob, I know you're going to love this. Doris, you're going to love it. So, the first sign that it's time to leave your job, I did a lot of these and I had some questions. You are underutilizing your skills. Makes sense? Think about it. You have a job, and I like how it says this, that's comfortable. Hey, speaker of the truth, well done. I'm sorry, Chris. I still get all worked up about that stuff, but it's like over at Triton where you're at there. You find the right people, you'll be fine. You really stick to your company and really represent them well. Don't bend because you might need 10 people. You got 5 good people that are there that can handle the job probably. So really represent your company well. And I'm telling you, it works. It's a little slow process in the beginning. You don't have to go on social media and be crazy. You can really utilize social media in the right way to be professional of what you're looking for. Like Chris uses a lot of mechanics. He needs like forklift drivers. Listen, forklift drivers and mechanics are hard sell. They are hard, but it's not impossible. Chris, you got to reach out to Chris right now. You better message him if you're in the Lehigh Valley and Brenningsville area. He's got a lot of great job openings. But they were formerly Nestle Waters and all that. But think about it. Good company name, using social media in a professional way, but fun, right? You can have fun. Getting your message out that we don't tolerate, or we want to find the right fit for our company, the culture. So some of the candidates that walk in, you don't have to hire every single one of them. Well, we're going to hire. Did you ask the question? Did you ask them what's their name? A lot of the people, oh, okay. Where'd you work? Okay. That's it. Here you go. 2 IDs, you're ready to go to work. That's all you've done. That's it. So, here he goes. After 3 foods. He loves what he's doing. Do I really need to start? No, because we're going to get to the second part here. So, it makes sense. You're comfortable in a job that doesn't challenge you. Maybe you're happy with that, right? But if you're not, if it doesn't challenge you, it says here, you should start considering leaving. Staying in this type of situation might limit your growth potential, and I get that, and have requested opportunities to use different skill sets. So that means you're not utilizing the skills that you have, right? So if you're at a job and you specialize in one thing and you're trying to really, when you look around, when you first start a new company, you'll know within that first 2 to 3 weeks to feel it out, to be like, wow, nobody's complaining. Everything's looking good. Everybody seems happy, but you are underusing your skills. Be careful of that, because if you want to be comfortable, hey, that's for you. Be comfortable. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to be that, if you like doing that, and you don't want to be with frustration or anything like that, go. Stay with it. But the second one, listen, the second sign that you might want to leave a job is you're not following your passion. Think about it. What's your passion? What do you enjoy about your job? What do you enjoy about doing? Like myself, everybody knows I love social media. Listen, that's my expertise. I enjoy it. I could do it nonstop from the morning till nighttime. I always said it. I will say this and I'll say it again. You give myself and a really great tools with social media, and you give me some of those $2,000 or $3,000 bonuses. Let me tell you, I would go up against any recruiter, 2 recruiters. And if I had that kind of money with just social media, you could really have those messages and get them out there. And that's a fact. I would not state that, but that's the truth, because that's your passion. That's what you love to do. It's just like Stephanie. Here she is, Stephanie. She loves helping people with resumes. She loves it. She has a passion that if you reach out to her, ask Rob. No, don't do that, Rob. Rob will say she shredded up my resume. But seriously, she has a passion of doing that. Kenny, he's everything. Kenny loves everything. Kenny, I don't think has a mean bone in his body or he was saying anything negative. But if you're not passionate in your job, maybe it's time that you start looking. Maybe it is. Right now, you have a lot of opportunities. You have a lot of opportunities that you can go from one company to the other and kind of feel that fit. Because again, you'll know in this first couple of weeks. The next one, signs it might be time to leave a job. All right. This is the work environment is unhealthy. Now, what does that mean? An unhealthy work environment has implications for your professional and personal happiness and is a sign that you should quit your job. So what does that mean? An unhealthy work environment includes punitive, controlling management practices, distrust, dishonesty among senior leaders, and public shaming and harassment of employees, and an ineffective communication. And that could be unhealthy for you and not be good for your path here. Let's see with Gabrielle. What advice would you give someone who wants to get into the recruitment or talent acquisition fields that wants to learn the right approach? Gabby, if you really research some of the staffing companies, look at the reviews. I don't care what people say. Reviews I know there's some of the negative ones, but really look into a company that has a really good stand-up, about 4 reviews and above, 4.0 and above. If you have customer service, right? If you've worked in any kind of customer service field, retail stores, I'm telling you, you've worked as a bartender or a waitress, you know what it's like for customer service. So that is one of the greatest things to get into recruitment, is as long as you have a passion with helping people, helping them want to change their lives, helping them go home to their husband and wife, or say, hey, sweetheart, I found a job. Knowing that stress, if you like making a call saying, hey, guess what? You got that job, and you hear that silence. If you like calling people and say, listen, you didn't find this job, but I'm going to find one with you within the next week or 2. You can call them and say, you're good for recruiting. If you like to deal with people within an office, like when you walk in, you can really see it. If the place is organized, everything comes together for a recruiter. If you have these kind of skill sets, and you find yourself with a good mentor, even on LinkedIn, you go ahead and put on there. A lot of recruiters learn on LinkedIn here. They have a lot of great training classes. Listen, go get some great books on Staffing 101 is a really good one. I really like that book. It's just all about helping people and getting that right mentor, getting that person that really, really likes to help someone. And it's not really that hard to do. There's usually one in a branch. There's usually 1 or 2 in a branch that are like that, but you'll know who that person is when you get with them. And recruiting's great. Recruiting has changed my life. Would I go out of it sometimes? Yes. Oh God, I want to drop sometimes. but the rewards outweigh the rewards of any other kind of job that I wouldn't do right now. I don't know. You know, you could reach out. You're reaching out to myself right now. I can send you some really good information on that. You know, reach out to some of the recruiters right on their LinkedIn and watch some of their shows, and you're going to be successful on that. I don't have mean Bodie in my body. Don't pick it. There he is. But Gabriel, I hope that answers some of your questions. Just really start going on some of these events and check out your local recruiting area and see what they're doing, and you'll really make out well. But back to the work environment, if it's distrust, if you see things that are just not right, you know, you don't trust the management, you see things going on within the company, you know, that's your integrity. It's unhealthy. If you see that, right? If you see people that aren't working, if you see people that aren't really care, that, well, you know, this is just a job, or you see people with safety and you see things happening, that's a sign you might want to start saying to yourself, you know what, because that can bite you later on where you've worked. You know, the names, I'm sorry, but if your company name has a bad rap, that can really go against you too. So that's one of the signs. The next one, I love this one. There's no opportunities for growth. When you say that, there are people that like to become leads. There are people that like to become supervisors. There are people that like to be office managers. It's up to you as a recruiter or a recruiting manager to see these types of growth. And even as a supervisor, as a leader, you need to see within your own people, because if you don't, you're going to lose them, because that's what they're saying. There's no opportunities for growth. It's so nice when you can walk into a company as a recruiting manager or a recruiter and say, look, all of these people on the floor have worked their way up to where they're at. Now, some of the higher skills up, but there are some GMs and VPs that started out right on the floor and worked themselves all the way up. It might take them a little while, but my point is, some people go into a job that the opportunities for growth are not there. Again, if you're comfortable, you really like this job, that there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to go into a leadership role. You might be happy not having all the friggin' stress and you losing your hair. You might be better off doing that. But, you know, people want to move up. People, they'll tell you, some of the candidates will tell you they don't. But a lot of them, you know, the rumors get around, you know, they get upset somebody else doesn't, they don't ask them. If you don't ask them, right, like, get to know the person. Hey, do you want to learn this job? You can tell somebody that wants to move up. They stand out, right? So they're the ones that you might want to work with. And some of the ones that kind of a little shy, so what? But they got a good work record, and you might be able to change your life. So no opportunities for growth, you know, that's possible for on that. This one here, Kenny's got it. Over the past 33s, I did experience room for growth. Kenny, you keep going, because 33, man, you're going to be going for another 33 years. The next one, the company's future is in question. You know, if it's a smaller company, and a lot of the companies, believe it or not, and you feel bad for, is the nonprofit organizations. A lot of them go out of business because they can't just pay. They can't pay a lot of the hourly rate or the salaries for the office people that don't. A lot of people that work in that industry are people that really care for what they do. There's no other way to say it. They really have that passion. They enjoy to help people. They're in a nonprofit because it could be in a food bank. You see them all around the Lehigh Valley. You see different things. They are there to help. That's what they like to do, and they're content with doing that. But some of the mergers and something like that go on, but the company's future is in question. I think everybody would know that. I like this one. Your ethics are being compromised. What's it mean? Your ethics are being compromised. So anytime you're in a situation that requires you to compromise your ethics, decision-making, it's time to leave. That was short and sweet. Especially true in professional settings because of the potential long-term implications for your career. If you see, and you've got some good ethics and work value, I mean, when you see something happening that's not right and you overlook it, if you see, let's just say safety. If you look at somebody is about ready to get hurt, you see it. You see that person screwing off something that's going to get them injured, and you walk by and you don't have the professionalism. It doesn't matter who you are, all the way the whole step. If you overlook that and that person gets hurt, shame on you. You should be saying, hey man, hey girl, what are you doing? You don't get you hurt. You can get hurt with that. You don't have to tell the boss, but you can tell the person, say, what are you doing on your cell phone on a forklift? Seriously. Would you confront that person? Would you confront seeing somebody doing unsafe? This could be in an office environment also. It's all about logistics, but you need to be really, really looking at that. When you're walking that warehouse or that logistics center or the store and you see a candidate or an employee that's doing something unsafe, that's on you. That's shame on you for that. And that's times where your ethics, everything comes into, like what I'm saying all the time. If I look the other way after saying this, if I say how to treat people, not like numbers, and I'm out there doing it, if I'm out there in an office that people aren't working and I'm just doing the same thing just like them, if they're saying, well, we can't find people, neither can you. They're the kind of things that your ethics and are being compromised. And it's a good sign that you might want to leave. Alex says, I have stayed in companies for way too long, have done all of these things. Now I know what I did in the past. And Alex, that comes, I'm glad you said that. That comes all the time with experience. That is just experience. And I'm going to say the same thing because I've been in those companies years ago. And as you grow, after I got out of the military and then took on a lot of the management positions, then I tried once to go back into a job that had no stress, but I didn't last. But what you said there is you've seen all that stuff and now you know. So when you go to that next company that you might be looking for, it might be a great company that really stands out to you that like, wow, look at the safety up there. Look at it. 385 days without an incident. See what I'm saying? That right there can change your mind on a lot of different things. Your next one, you have to say something, Kenny, right? The next one is you are grossly undercompensated. That's always, people look at that, because it's, sometimes accept a lower salary in exchange for unique opportunity or non-financial fringe benefits. You're undercompensated at your job, you should consider leaving. Being undercompensated can reflect a mismatch. This is what I had to read that a couple of times. So it's a mismatch of where you're going for your next job. If you're doing one, let's just say, comfortable job, then you really want to grow yourself. You need to show some kind of pattern. You want to work yourself, look at your jobs as growth. It doesn't have to be within the company. See, a lot of people don't realize that. To me, you can go from one company, go to your next, maybe you only be there a year, but they don't realize it because they've trained you. Now they've trained you. They put some good training into you. Guess what? You're going to leave next company to go with it. It's common sense. If you're undercompensated, listen, you have choices. Right now is the time to make a choice. I'm telling you, there are so many positions out there that if you really know what you're doing and you're in a special field, or maybe you've gotten out of it for a little bit, or maybe you want to back down, now's the time. Now's the time to make that change, and you're going to see something there. So compensation, don't be afraid to negotiate. There's a lot of different ways. I don't know a lot of it. When they come up with that wage, your salary, you can give them a range. I go back and forth on, you bring that up right off the bat, salary and benefits are important. And thank you, Kenny. They are. You could have a great salary, but your benefits are horrible. And that might outweigh what you have, because if it's going to cost you a lot of money to go to the doctor and poor healthcare, that's where a lot of the companies are just missing the point there. Some of them are changing right now, but they're not raising the salaries all the way up. But boy, they're taking a chunk. For example, you see a lot, free dental and free vision for your children. That's priceless. Right there, that is smart, and they're advertising that right there. And that's a good thing to do. And Stephanie says negotiable total comp. That's where if you go, and I'm going to give you another shout out here, Stephanie, but the reason I finally went to a professional resume writer, this was before I knew Stephanie, and this person really learned about you. They can take that resume. Now, let me tell you what, after they're done with it, you don't realize how much skill set you actually have. I know that sounds stupid, but when I saw that came back, the interviews would start coming in, because I don't care. It wasn't so much about the ATS. If that resume is really looking good, that can help you with total, for your salary. Having that great salary, total comp, not just base salary. So there, I had my say again on it. But I really do like the resumes, the new ones now. If you haven't had yours updated, get it. And you're going to be surprised, because that person could change your life. The next one, we got 3 more. Your values are not aligned with those of the organization. Related to the following: your passion, compromise ethics, personal values, not aligned with the organization, time to leave. Some of these, man, I'll tell you what, when you research these, I try to get like 3 different ways of looking at it. Leave. I mean, come on. But if result fits, I'm sorry, I'll go back to this one. Values. Let's see. Ethics in the future being misaligned. This is all kind of everything that we talked about here. Your values that we've all talked about. This one here, 2 more. A couple more, actually. You are no longer able to fulfill your job responsibilities. Oh, there he is. The man, the legend, Stephen Farrell of Utah. You're looking for a job in Utah? Stephen's the one you want to reach out to. How you doing, Steve? We got to catch up this week. How much do you charge David? Stephanie's great, and she will help anybody, I'll tell you. The next one, you are no longer to fulfill your job responsibilities. I had to read this one over again, but think about it. And Steve, I know you're going to know this one. Your physical illness, your personal life, your structural changes within an organization can really affect your job. You cannot fulfill your job responsibilities. Stress, right? Staying at a job when your ability to perform your job duties is compromised leaves you vulnerable to termination, into immediate financial impact of termination. So you think about that. You are no longer able to fulfill your job responsibilities because if you're stressed, if you're out of work, if you're having a hard time at home, all of that comes into play because you've got all this stuff on your mind and you're trying to do your work and you realize you're not even doing all of it. You're not getting it all completed because all these other things going on. But that's where I'm going to make this short and sweet. This is where a lot of people, like when Chris had even said one time, if HR doesn't know about it, right, they can't fix it. And that's been a saying that Chris had always said to me. If HR doesn't know about your problems, they can't help you fix it. Because when you're no longer able to fulfill your job responsibilities, because now it could be because of work. It's not just from personal stuff. Listen, all this stuff that we're talking about tonight, it all comes into one thing. If your job is treating you like shit, if they're over there, they're bothering you with loads and loads of pressure. They're taking people out of the office because they're going to save freaking $20,000 on their P&L. Been there, done it all. Whew, that felt good. But my point there is all of this can lead to stress to where you don't fulfill your job. I think I need to find another one. My God. I'm reading. I don't even need to look at the papers. Number 10, there are substantially better opportunities available in another organization. That just makes common sense. You're comfortable, but you need to find that place that's just positive and that supports your colleagues. That really, you can see a smile when I come on. If you really do some research on the company, you can tell what it's like. Because the best one, the saying that I like to hear is, ask yourself right now, and be honest to yourself. Would you recommend your friends or family to work at your company? Take a second for that. Would you, you don't have to comment on that because you're working, but would you send your friends or your family to work there? That is the decision, a big decision, because I'm going to give you a quick example. When I was over at a branch I was working, when I came in, I would always sit out where all the chairs were in the lobby, right? Just sit there. And everybody would be like, what are you sitting out there for? I sat there because I wanted to know, I'd be looking around, would I want my wife to sit in this chair and see what's going on in a staffing company? I sat there with other people. You're looking, I looked around and see what it looked like, how everybody was working. Would I want my wife to sit there in my seat? Would I be comfortable, friends or family? That is one hard. How I really feel, whew. You know, Kenny, I'm very honest when it comes to that. If I'm at a place that I don't send anybody. Kenny, I don't send people. Listen, I know the Lehigh Valley a lot. There's a lot of companies. I know, God, 15 to 20 of them very well. There's probably 7 or 8 of them that I would never, ever, ever in my life recommend them to go to work for them. Because why do I feel this way? Just like some people, if you need to really look at some of the companies and see that the people are just exiting left and right. They don't care. They treat the temporary people, they send them home. Just send them home. Send them home. You know, that right there, you send those people home today. Steve's watching this thing. I know those days are over. Those days are over that you need to send those temporaries home, because you send them home, they are going to go ahead and leave to a next job. I've never worked somewhere I was willing to recommend to anyone. See, that question there, thanks for saying that, Alex, because a lot of people, they'll say that maybe to their colleagues, some of them, but it's hard to get on here. Would I? Probably 1, 2, 3 companies that I worked for. Hell yeah. Yeah. Another 2? No, hell no. Hell no. Hell no, no, no. And I know some of the companies in Lehigh Valley. Oh, hell no. What I like to do is with social media, Steve, you're going to love this one, but I want to go after those big companies and take those people out of there. I want to pluck them out of there, get my message to them that we're hiring here. We're better than you are. We offer better perks. We offer better, might be $1 or $2 under, but our benefits are really good, and you'll get them out of there. Just draw them out on the weekend. Hey, are you happy working weekends? We don't work weekends. You get like Chris over here at Nestle Water or Blue Triton, every other weekend off. Do people know that? There's a company in Brenningsville, Blue Triton, with every other weekend off, and they're getting paid $23, $24 an hour. Kenneth Dooner, I can say that now. Alex, tell us how you really feel. This next one, got 2 more, I promise you. You dread going to work. Now, I see Steve on social media over there. Steve Farrell loves going to work, right? I love going to work. If you dread going to work, you're feeling sad, your weekend is over. This is really good. So your weekend's over. You're freaking sad. Are you looking forward to your days off or vacation time? Normal. I'll tell you what, everybody knows what it's like. You're going on a week or 10 days vacation, man. You're just like in that mindset. You want that freaking day to come. But you can also be at a good company too. But when you dread it, I love this. Your pit in your stomach. When you think about work, you lose sleep at night. Listen, I have my friggin' eyes. I never stop working. When you lay there and you're feeling anxious about, you don't want to go to work, maybe it's a sign that you want to leave. Maybe you want to get the hell out of there because you can't sleep. When you start taking medication to go to sleep, you got problems. Or you start taking melatonin. Listen, I could take 50 melatonins and still stay awake and still talk for a friggin' hour. I don't know, but again, with staffing and and in logistics, you gotta either have this energy or you don't. If I really want somebody that feels, do I want somebody on my staff? And I guarantee that everybody on here, do you want somebody that works under you, right, in the chain of command, feeling that they don't want to come to work? I don't think you would. You can usually tell if you're in those morning meetings. And listen, if one of your employees are quiet in an office setting, or doesn't matter, you can start to see a change in a person. Maybe it's time. Hey, Dave, savor the flavor. He's funny. Maybe it's time to pull that person aside at the end of the day or something. Say, is everything all right? Because that's a sign that if they're dreading coming to work, there's something wrong. And if that person has been with the company for 3 to 4 years, listen, you don't want to lose them. You don't want to lose that person. Why would you want to lose an employee, right? Because this cracks me up, and this is the truth. So if you're in an office with a bunch of people and that person's been here for 10 years, right? They've been there for 10 years. Never had a write-up, right? And then management decides they get a thing up their butt, right? That, we need to start getting rid of this person. Get rid of them. Are you freaking kidding me? What kind of respect or culture that you Look at a person that's been there 10 years and he hasn't had a write-up, or she hasn't had a write-up. Maybe there's something wrong with the person. There could be something wrong with that person that's upset. Listen, you can walk a warehouse, you can walk in any kind of office or work environment, doesn't matter. And if a person's pissed off, you can just tell by looking at them. You can tell if you've been in management long enough, you can tell by their body language. You can tell, look out a distance and you see them talking to their friends and they got them all around the water cooler and you can tell they're pissed off because they're saying something. What if they're right? What if they are right, what they're saying? What if they're right and you don't do anything about it? Maybe something's going on in their lives, but to start, let's just get rid of this person, be a lot easier. The person's upset all the time. It's bad for morale. Take that chance and talk to that person before they leave, and somebody else gives them a great opportunity, and then you find out that they're doing a lot better. And I hate when people say, well, you'll have some managers, I'll go off on this crap. You have some managers that say, well, when they bring me into a company, they're bringing me in to make changes, and sometimes they'll call me back and thank me that I terminated, that they ended them. They put them on a PIP, but they thanked me 2 years from now. That makes total no friggin' sense to say that. Why would you say, oh, thank you for firing me, I wouldn't be today where I was at today? That was one. Oh God, that's another thing. Two more. You can't picture yourself there long term. Easy, right? You're not there. You're not into it. Look at your job now. Do you see some kind of growth? You got to look at it that way. And the last one are jobs. Everything feels overwhelming, and jobs that are hiring immediately. Sometimes if you're pissed off or you're angry, you might want to take that route. But in closing, seriously, with the high volume recruiters, you got to give them credit. And I know Steve and a bunch of people that are in staffing here. As leaders, you put a lot of stress, you put a lot of demands, but you also have to provide the tools. So if you see somebody that is in stressed over high volume, if they've never been there before, right, and it's new, you need to really have your team try to really help that person, because if they've never done it, if you don't set them up for success, they're going to fail. They are going to fail, and it's on you. If you look at a person and say, well, I don't think they got it. Did you? It's been 2 weeks. Why can you even say that? Did you provide the tools to that person? I know there's always two sides of the story. I'm just being the advocate here on the other side of saying, you need to look at that person. Did I do everything that I could do to teach that person in high volume? If you said that to yourself, then you do pretty good. On the parts about signs, I joke around, we laugh here and we say things, but signs that it may be time to leave a job, think of some of the things that we said here tonight. It doesn't mean you do it, but if you think about it, now's the time. This big exit that people say, I don't think it's a big exit. I just think things have changed right now to where people are like, their thought process have changed, and they want to everybody knows that feeling of getting a new job, right? You're excited, you give that 2-week notice, you got that, you're as happy. Why couldn't you be as happy when you were there? Think if you reverse it, you're happy to leave, but yet you've been there for 5-6 years. Look at that person, go to your management, go to HR, tell them, listen, you're having some problems with some people on the floor, you're having some problems with some supervisors, you're having some problems with at home, is there possible that I could take a medical leave? You're having problems with your child, maybe something's going on, you're on the verge of, you've got 4 points on you, you're ready to be terminated, but yet you have a major health, mental illness, something going on. Talk with HR. Don't let that happen if you've been with a company for a while, and let that take that job away from you because of those certain things. So on that, I can't appreciate everybody. Thanks a lot for coming on the show tonight, and we'll be back tomorrow. Talk to you soon.